With great excitement, I'm happy to welcome everybody to the first episode of Plank Session. I'm your host, Justin Kershaw. So it was the fall of 1994, and the bus just dropped me off from a long day at school, and I ran home because my dad was on the Oprah Winfrey show. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I ran home because my dad was being interviewed by Oprah. My dad was a police officer in Columbus, and he was overseeing a case, and it made national news, and my dad was on the news. So this was my experience as a child. My dad was this huge figure, and not only was my dad on Oprah, not only was he a police officer, but he played football, he owned a bunch of restaurants. We started a pizza restaurant when I was little, and he had 6 boys. So my dad was the coolest guy in the world. He was literally like Superman to me, and I loved him, and I wanted to be just like my dad. And this was how my dad raised us. I saw this big, powerful figure, and my dad always encouraged me and my brothers to play a big game. So naturally, I wanted to be just like my dad. So I played football, I played sports, I had some success in sports, and everything went really well until I stopped playing football. I thought that I could start a business and be just like my dad. So after I started my first business, I got consumed naturally with making a bunch of money, and I was started a family, started multiple businesses, and I just really became caught up in the concept that, the more money I have, the better off I'll be. And that was wrong, and I found myself trapped in this system to where I wasn't playing big anymore, and I wasn't inspired to be powerful in the way that I saw my dad when I was a little kid. So I had an experience where I had an invention that I came out with. It was a hanger, and I meet this guy named Chris Hawker. Chris Hawker is the LeBron James of the invention world. He's a great guy. And upon our first meeting, I asked him, I said, hey Chris, can you help me sell this hanger? And he was like, well, are you passionate about selling hangers? I see a bigger possibility for your life. You're just, consumed with making money. You're not doing things that you're passionate about, and I think you can really make an impact. And that really struck a chord with me. And from there, I went, and I was very prayerful after that. I'm a Christian, and my faith is the biggest component of what shaped me and what I am today. And after I thought long and hard, I said, you know what, I'm playing too small. I need to make an impact. So I started doing some research, and I saw the podcast world and how powerful podcasts are and the amount of information on there. And I said, you know what, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this movement. And that's why now I'm sitting here in a 5-minute plank talking to you for the first episode of the Plank Session. So why am I planking? Have you ever ran with somebody, or have you ever wrestled with somebody? I remember in high school, the wrestlers were the tightest knit team. Or have you ever been through something hard with somebody that you love and that you care about? I'm a believer that life, the context of life is like a wrestling match. And life is about getting to the core issues. And when you go through something with somebody, you get past the superficiality and surface level jargon, and you get down to the root issues. So we're engaging our core to get to the core. I'll be interviewing people while we do a 5-minute plank. And we will, it's going to be a lot of fun. How much time is that? We got 4 more minutes? Oh, 1 more minute, wow. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to being on the show. We'll be tackling issues on leadership, on business, on fitness. We'll have guests come on the show from time to time. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is the first initial 5-minute plank. And as you can see, I'm hurting. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. We'll have individual segments where it's me talking about certain issues. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to talk more once I get done with this plank. How much more time work? Woo! Cool. So, leadership, accountability, fitness, business, how you can get swole, how you get more energy, how you can be a better human being. We're looking forward to all those things. This is the Plank Session. I'm Justin Kershaw. Let's go. Woo! Good? Whew, man. So a year ago, I was inspired to have an impact on dads because I realized the impact that my dad made on my life. And if you look at the statistics, you'll see that fatherlessness, the lack of a father or having a father, is an indicator of success. Now, there's no inevitabilities or predeterminants. There's men and women who have had an absent father in their life who have been extremely successful. I look at somebody like LeBron James, who seems to be a great father, who's a successful businessman and athlete. He didn't have a dad. But if you go to prisons right now, there's the literature tells you that prisons are filled with men that didn't have fathers in their life, where their dads didn't show up, particularly in the Black community. And I know that if through our ventures and through what we're doing, if we impact dads, we can not only impact their lives, but then we can impact their wives' lives, we can impact their kids, and we can impact families for generations to come. So this isn't your run-of-the-mill podcast or movement. We are looking to empower men with the tools and the resources so they can make a loving, long legacy for generations to come. We're really excited. So this season, season 1, our first guest is Cardale Jones, NFL quarterback. He was the third string quarterback for the Buckeyes when he took them after injury to win the national championship. He's a friend of mine. It's one of the greatest true sports stories of all time. We've got Grant Holmberg, good friend of mine. He won the CrossFit Games in 2010. He's a great father, great man of faith. I love him. He's an awesome guy, powerful speaker, powerful teacher. Rebecca Louise is a good friend of mine. She is an overcomer, a powerful force. She's from London. She's a pilot. She's a fitness enthusiast, and she encourages women to go after it and be leaders. Our other guest is Casey Zeman. He's the founder of Easy Webinar. Casey's become a friend of mine. He's a fantastic speaker. He's a business strategist, world-class entrepreneur, and he's a game changer. And we're talking about our stories, we're talking about leadership, and we're talking about fatherhood and how fatherhood has impacted them, how their dads have impacted them. So I'm really excited to get started. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go.